I remember my oncologist saying, there's a 10% chance of surviving this. I remembered saying to my family members, well, somebody has to make up that 10%, right? Why not be me? Mick and I had gotten married. We were the typical young married couple, living life, having a lot of fun. Life kind of turned upside down about a year later. Over the 4th of July weekend, we saw the fireworks that night, and I remember it was so booming loud, and I had the worst headache. The next day, I went into the doctor finally after feeling awful for 3 weeks. And he kind of chalked it up to maybe mono, and I definitely had strep throat. And right as he was walking out the door, I said, oh wait, one more symptom. I said, I have these little red dots on my legs. And he looked at them, and I could just see his eyes like, oh. Got a blood test where my white blood cell count was too high, it didn't even register on their lab machine. That's when he said, you need to go to Fairview Southdale to get a bone marrow biopsy. I went the very next morning, got a bone marrow biopsy, and received my diagnosis of acute myeloid leukemia. It was just like a ton of bricks hitting me. They said, we're moving you upstairs to the 8th floor oncology unit, where we'll admit you, start the chemo drugs this afternoon, and try to get you into remission. Cancer was farthest from my mind.
Never in the world you'd expect your wife to be diagnosed with cancer when you're in your early 20s.
There were definitely questions of why me? Oh my gosh, is leukemia going to win? Is it going to leave my new husband a widower and my parents and my sister to grieve?
When she was going through her last round of chemo, I signed up to do a triathlon with Team in Training.
He said, I just have to do something more than bring you warm blankets in the hospital. I need to do something for this.
There really wasn't a lot I could do to directly affect her diagnosis and her treatment and things like that, but if I could help out in some other way to eventually help other people, that seemed like the best opportunity for me to be proactive.
My doctor always told me we need to wait 5 years before you can think about starting a family. I remember my 5-year checkup with Dr. Rousey, where he said, Heidi, I've been waiting 5 years to tell you this, but go ahead and try to start a family if you'd like. Raising my children have been, hands down, the best thing I've ever done, and I'm so grateful to be called their mom. Mick and I were traveling in 2017, and I remember looking at my legs and seeing some red spots again. I just kind of got a feeling of dread and oh. So I called the clinic. Sure enough, I had leukemia again. My oncologist said, there's a different genetic marker on this, so it's like being struck by lightning twice.
It was harder the second time around.
I did not want to leave my kids to just having a daddy.
I think the biggest concern was the kids not having her, because she's such a good influence on everybody she knows, and they wouldn't have had their mom to deal with, but specifically Heidi as their mom.
In the time between my first bout of leukemia and my second bout of leukemia, the testing was faster and better. It was the Leukemia Lymphoma Society that really helped make some changes. Dr. Rousey has been such an amazing support for me throughout the years. He's saved my life twice, and I just am forever grateful. I don't want any other patients to have to go through what I did and what my family had to go through. I'd really like to make an impact on other future patients.
I think Heidi's never really changed who she is, and that's a good thing, because there's nobody better out there.
My name is Heidi Gesenius, and I am running for LLS's Woman of the Year.